This wasn't merely a New Year's Eve show. It was a declaration made live, in the moment, before thousands, as the clock rolled into 2026. While the crowd focused on the final seconds of the year, SB19 was focused on something far more lasting: impact. No safety net, no alternate storyline, just presence, purpose, and proof. No borrowed buzz, just 5 artists fully commanding the biggest stage of the night in BGC, showing that P-pop no longer waits for approval, it shows up and takes space. If you think this was just another concert clip, stay with me, because this moment changed the standard for New Year performances in the Philippines. Like, subscribe, and let's break down what really happened. The BGC New Year's Eve stage is not an easy slot. It's a national stress test. This isn't a controlled arena packed only with fans. It's a diverse crowd made up of supporters, casual onlookers, industry insiders, and critics watching closely for mistakes. Every move is captured. Every second is live. There's no room to hide and no margin for error. New Year performances last longer than chart rankings because they tie an artist to a shared emotional memory. One mistake can live forever as a replayed clip, while one powerful moment can become the image that defines the start of a year. That's the risk, and that's the reward. By stepping onto this stage, SB19 wasn't seeking attention, they were embracing scrutiny. This wasn't about showing how popular they are, but about proving they can deliver under the highest level of public exposure. Artists who aren't prepared stay away from stages like this. SB19 chose to face it head-on. That choice alone projected assurance before a single sound was made. Even before the first beat dropped, the energy in the space was unmistakable. The crowd wasn't merely loud, it was focused. Cameras recalibrated, phones rose, and every lens fixed its aim. There's a clear line between excitement and anticipation. Excitement creates noise. Anticipation commands attention. When SB19 stepped out, they didn't flood the moment with chaos. Their movement was deliberate, calm, and restrained. No manufactured hype, no overdone theatrics, just presence. That discipline was crucial. In live performance dynamics, holding back before the strike amplifies authority. It quietly signals, pay attention. Those brief seconds of stillness before the first beat weren't wasted time. They focused the room. Anticipation tightened instead of dissolving. When the music finally dropped, the audience wasn't guessing how to respond. They were primed. That kind of momentum isn't luck, it's control established before a single note is heard. Open-air stages don't hide anything, and BGC offered no safety net. There were no perfect acoustics, no retakes, no studio polish waiting to cover flaws. What happened unfolded in real time. SB19 delivered live vocals while executing full choreography, a combination that immediately distinguishes seasoned performers from temporary sensations. Their breathing remained steady through movement changes, transitions stayed clean, and the sound never collapsed under physical demand. That level of consistency doesn't come from hype. It comes from preparation, trust in craft, and confidence under exposure.
Formations locked into place even with limited space. Timing stayed tight when the energy surged. That kind of control matters on a stage like this because mistakes don't fade away, they spread. What made the moment powerful wasn't showiness, it was precision. Every move felt built for consistency, not just impact. That's the standard professionals watch for, performers who can deliver the same level under unpredictable conditions. Looking good in a studio or a polished clip is easy. What SB19 proved here was that their performance quality holds up anywhere, every time. That's real performance credibility, and in live entertainment, it's everything. The song choices were deliberate. New Year's Eve isn't an insider event, it's a shared moment for casual viewers, first-time listeners, and long-time supporters. SB19 selected tracks that connected immediately, no context needed. Hooks hit fast. The momentum built steadily instead of burning out too soon. The flow let the audience step into the performance rather than struggle to keep up. Fans were rewarded, but clarity and reach came first. As midnight drew closer, the emotional rise was clear, uplifting, controlled, and never unruly. That kind of balance is hard to achieve, and it never happens by chance. This wasn't built on nostalgia or chasing what's trending. It was intentional planning. Every song had a purpose: to draw people in, to build momentum, to release energy at the right time. That's the line between simply performing and truly leading a crowd. SB19 didn't expect the audience to adjust to them. They carried the audience forward, one moment at a time. In every great live show, there's a point where reaction becomes unity, and at BGC, you could see that shift happen clearly. The audience stopped reacting at random and began moving in sync with the show, clapping on cue, answering lines, and matching the energy on stage. The call and response wasn't demanded, it was followed naturally. That distinction was visible in their posture. Bodies turned fully toward the stage, heads raised, attention locked in. Phones weren't lifted to capture noise, they were raised to document authority. When a crowd follows instead of simply reacts, a performance becomes shareable by design. This is where clips are born, spread, and replayed. Making noise is easy. Commanding attention is not. Volume is easy to create. Authority is not. SB19 didn't overwhelm the crowd, they steered it. And that's the true statement on a stage of this scale. Under unforgiving New Year lighting, visuals either strengthen a performance or reveal its weaknesses. Their styling did the first. Streamlined shapes, intentional color choices, and outfits built for movement kept the focus where it belonged, on execution, not excess. Nothing pulled focus, nothing tried too hard. Their body language completed the picture. Stable footing, precise motions, and confident spacing between members reflected control, cohesion, and quiet confidence.
Midnight performances do more than entertain. They leave an imprint. As the year shifts, sound, image, and emotion fuse into a single memory. That's why people remember who ushered them into a new year long after the details fade. SB19 standing on stage at the exact turn of the calendar tied their identity to the opening moment of the year. That kind of placement isn't luck or hype, it's rare and deliberate positioning. Emotion peaks at that moment, focus converges, and memory forms quickly. Psychologically, the opening seconds of a new year carry meaning, renewal, optimism, forward motion. By stepping into that space, SB19 didn't simply perform at midnight, they claimed it. Few artists are given that window, and even fewer executed cleanly. This goes beyond promotion. Placement creates connection, and connection builds legacy. When the fireworks are gone, people still remember who stood at the center when the year truly began. And because it was designed with intention, the performance didn't remain locked to the venue. It moved outward, replayed, shared, and carried forward. Clips spread quickly across platforms because they were built to travel. Clean audio, controlled visuals, and genuine crowd engagement. Algorithms favor watchability, not noise. Even non-fans shared the moments because they needed no backstory. There was no barrier of context, language, or explanation. You could understand the impact instantly. Reaction creators had everything they look for: visible audience response, precise execution, and perfectly timed emotion. That's what fuels momentum. Viral moments aren't born from chaos, they're built on structure. SB19 delivered exactly what platforms elevate: clarity, consistency, and high replay value. This wasn't accidental reach or fan-only circulation. It crossed timelines because it felt complete on its own. The strongest content spreads when people feel they've found quality themselves, not when they're instructed to care. Stages like BGC don't just showcase performance, they measure it. They measure reliability. Performing with precision under this level of exposure tells organizers one thing clearly: SB19 can be trusted when the stakes are highest. It was intentional planning. Every song had a purpose: to draw people in, to build momentum, to release energy at the right time. That's the line between simply performing and truly leading a crowd. SB19 didn't expect the audience to adjust to them. They carried the audience forward, one moment at a time. In every great live show, there's a point where reaction becomes unity, and at BGC, you could see that shift happen clearly.
The audience stopped reacting at random and began moving in sync with the show.
And trust changes everything. It brings bigger opportunities, heavier scrutiny, and far less room for error. Expectations rise, margins tighten, and every appearance starts to carry real consequence. This is the shift. SB19 is no longer just representing P-pop. They are stepping into the role of leading it, shaping how it is seen on national stages and increasingly on the global one. By 2026, this is no longer about proving capability. It's a phase of reach and scale. Bigger venues, wider audiences, sharper evaluation, and this performance quietly lifted the bar. Not with claims or hype, with execution. At this level, progress isn't flashy, it's deliberate. SB19 didn't say they were ready for the next tier, they showed it, clearly and publicly, where it counted. History rarely announces itself. It arrives, delivers with precision, and leaves proof behind. That's what this stage accomplished. When the fireworks faded, the impact didn't. And that's the line between being remembered for a night and being remembered for an entire year. If you want real analysis instead of noise, subscribe and share your thoughts below. Was this SB19's strongest New Year's Eve performance so far?